Good afternoon, I guess it is now. It's
You're
12:14.
not live yet, Susan. There you go.
Oh, sorry. I am now. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's July 31st and it's 12:14, and I'm going to ask someone to call the meeting to order.
Move.
Moved. Seconded by Councillor Roberts, seconded by Councillor Hines. Now, I'm not like Tom, see, I'm going to forget everyone's last names. Okay. Before we move into the approval of the agenda, we want to mention that Stephenville and the whole of the Bay St. George area is home to rich, diverse, and vibrant rural Indigenous communities. Located on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk, the lands and waters in and around us have traditionally served as a gathering place for the Mi'kmaq. The broader region of Newfoundland and Labrador continues to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. We honor and pay respect to the past, present, and future caretakers of these territories. I'm going to call now for someone to approve the agenda as circulated. Moved by Councillor Roberts. Second by Councillor White. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Approval of minutes. Be it resolved, the minutes of July 10th, 2025 public meeting of council be approved. We have a mover. They moved by Councillor White, second by Councillor Hines. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried. Are there any matters arising from the minutes? No matters arising from the minutes. And no proclamations and delegations, right, this week? Okay. So that brings us to the Finance Committee report, and I will pass it over to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you. Item number 1 is accounts payable. Be it resolved to approve accounts payable for July 31st, 2025 in the amount of $1,104,539.30. Something.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder. Second by Councillor Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
Item number 7.2, approval of audit financial statements. Be it resolved, council hereby adopts the 2024 consolidated financial statements as presented. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Aylward. Question?
Madam Chair, or Madam Mayor, I can't, I would like to be able to meet with our auditors on kind of statements. I got a lot of questions regarding the statements before I can say yay to the statements themselves. So I was wondering if it was possible that we could have a meeting right away from them, alleviate those concerns, and possibly hold a special meeting afterwards if everything's satisfied. But I can't honestly or whatever.
Okay. Part of, I think, the discussion at the meeting was whether or not we should meet with the auditors or, in fact, move forward. And the only concern was that meeting with the auditors would delay the approval of the statement, which then might delay some of the other work that we're trying to do, right? So I think that was the main reason why people were.
But the land statements, any other work that we're doing currently, we're already late sending them in to Municipal Affairs because they're supposed to be
June 30th.
June 30th,
Right.
Which I don't think was be held accountable for that,
Right.
because auditors were in, I believe, May. And I was expecting draft statements by the end of May, early June,
Yeah.
but things happened.
Right.
So I don't know why, we got to rush this through. We can have a meeting with the auditors early next week, have a special meeting, if everything's okay, done. And my understanding that they're willing to meet anytime.
Oh, yeah, we were trying to see if we might be able to arrange for today prior to the meeting, if at all possible, but logistically, it just couldn't happen with, we were busy and everything else, but, management, if we could have a special meeting and didn't have to wait 3 weeks, if councillors would be amenable to that, we would support your position at that stage. We're not in a hurry, but we have some concerns about just some things that we're dealing with municipal affairs that we're wondering, are we being, prevented from moving forward on certain things because of it? And I don't know. That we're just about to start asking those questions to municipal affairs, because in the past, we've had both. We've had them in on time and we've had them delayed. So
Right.
I don't know if there's a lot over the years.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but if they had a real big issue right now,
we'd be hearing from
you'll be hearing from them.
Yes.
And I would suggest if you're that's concerned, you can call the director saying that we got the draft statements. We're meeting to review with auditors, and they will submit it forthwith.
Yeah.
And they're very amicable that way.
That as far as a management recommendation, we'd like to make sure that your position, because it, from the finance committee generally, not just you as a counselor, but we know your experience but we want to recognize it, that it is effectively the finance committee that we'd have to accept the recommendation from. So
I would feel a lot more comfortable if we met, and because Darren had a chance to ask those questions, because maybe someone that definitely I didn't notice,
Sure.
and I would feel a lot more comfortable if we went that way.
As you recall,
Councillor White, you're on.
I as well to
Okay.
8.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, I would be okay if management is comfortable that the auditors are available next week to meet with the finance committee, so that we could actually have it overviewed, questions answered, and if everything is fine, we could do the special meeting. But as long as we can get it done within a week, because in the last 2 years, I believe our auditors have been getting our statements late to us. Now, I do know that the company had gone through change management, ownership changes, a bunch of things happened there. But as Councilor Roberts says, we're probably not the only one of 256 communities that got their audited financial statements in a little bit late to municipal affairs. But if management is comfortable that the finance committee can meet, and then from that, a special meeting is called so that we can expedite these audited financials to municipal affairs, I would be okay with it. But if it's a month away, I think we should approve it now in principle. And if the meeting takes place and adjustments have to happen, they could be adjusted and further documents sent in. But if we can get it done in a week, I'm okay.
you can't approve financial statements in principle.
no, it has to be either approved or not. So,
So
on that basis, could we have the motion that was placed for the approval, basically vote to rescind it for now and have the matter deferred to the next either special or regular general meeting?
Yeah. Did we vote?
No, I don't think we didn't vote yet.
Councilor White and Councilor Elwood would rescind, and then you could do a motion to defer.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to
See,
rescind this resolution of the approval of audit financial statements. I so move.
Okay. And second was Councillor Elward, right? Are you going to rescind yours
Yeah.
too? Okay. So
Yes, yeah, but- yes,
that would then be a new
Second.
motion. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
would be a motion now, Councillor White, I guess, to defer item 7.2 until a meeting is able to be arranged. So does Councillor White need to restate that then, or?
Yeah, so Councillor Roberts, is it only the financial statements or is it part 2 and 3? of the
No, no.
three?
No.
Just a
Just the
statement.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
You gotta make your motion. The approval of the audit.
So we are going to
So you have a motion
defer.
on the floor now by Councillor Waite to rescind the motion, and
Yes.
seconded by myself.
Yes.
So
Okay,
Vote on that one first.
so we have the motions to rescind first. We were gonna vote on
Approve the
those.
rescindment.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Carried. So now, Councillor White,
I am now going to
Move to defer.
move to defer.
move to refer the financial statements.
7.2.
Okay, yes. Shall I give them the dates too? The dates? Okay, at 7.2. A motion.
Motion to you're just gonna move to defer, yeah.
I have a motion to defer the financial statements at number under the Finance Committee Report 7.2. I so move.
Right, second,
Second.
okay, Councillor Aylward, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, carried,
thank you.
okay, on we go.
Okay, item number 7.3, tax recovery plan. Be it resolved that the Town of Stephenville Council approve the tax recovery plan dated December 31st, 2024 is presented. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder,
Second.
second by Councillor Roberts, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Carried, yeah.
Item number 7.4, approval of Canada Community Building Fund Agreement. Be it resolved that council hereby approves the annual expenditure report, Canada Community Building Fund Agreement for the year ended December 31st, 2024 as presented. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, second.
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 Second by Councillor Roberts, he beat you to it.
Okay.
You're on a
Okay.
time delay, you're gonna have to put your hand up before.
Seven.
Any questions on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry.
Item number 7.5, community grant program approvals. Item number 1, Whaleback Nordic Ski Club. Be it resolved that the town council approve community grant to Whaleback Nordic Ski Club in the amount of $14,273.95 for upgrades and signage. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, second.
Seconded.
Second by Councillor Hines. All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
Carried.
Item number 7.6. Item sponsorship program approvals. Item number 1, Bay St. George Sport Recognition. Be it resolved that the town council approves sponsorship to Bay St. George Sport Recognition in the amount of $1,000 for the development of their gallery and display. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Aylward.
Question, I just make a comment, Madam Chair. Just want to say that in a community like Stephenville, we have many champions, but when it comes to sports and recognition, the work that Mr. Billy Hines is doing is amazing, and he is holding on to so much of our legacy and history and the accomplishments of our athletes through time. And I'd just like to recognize him for that.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. And for people who haven't had a chance to have a look at some of the work that has been done at the Dome, at the stadium, it's well worth your while to go in and walk around and it's almost like you leave very proud of being someone who grew up in this area again, right? So it's a really good piece of work.
And there is a beautiful picture of Deputy Mayor Susan Fallow on the wall too. I just want to say that.
Absolutely. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
Item number 2, Alasu Inu Performing Arts Foundation. Be it resolved that the town council approves sponsorships to Alasu Inu Performing Arts Foundation in the amount of $1,000 for a 4-day celebration to be held April the 18th to the 22nd, 2026. I so moved.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder.
Seconded.
Second by Councillor Hines. Question?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Carried.
Item number 7, Canada Community Building Fund approval. Be it resolved that the town council approve to submit the Canada Community Building application in the amount of $150,000 to repurpose the town of Stephenville tennis court into an 8 pickleball courts and 2 new tennis courts, including fencing, posts, and netting, as well as court resurfacing. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, second.
Second.
Second by Councillor Hines. Question?
Just a comment that's long overdue, and it's nice to see that moving forward.
Yes, it is. I agree.
Good. Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
Item number 8, RBC lease line of credit. Be it resolved that the town council approve a $250,000 revolving lease line of credit from Royal Bank of Canada, St. John's. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder.
Second.
Second by Councillor Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried.
Item number 9, approval to award tender YMCA project AP-3209-01-R1. Be it resolved to award tender for the YMCA Green and Inclusive Community Building Project AP-3209-01-R1 to Rgm North in the amount of $2,873,981 plus the HST. I so move.
Moved by Councillor White, seconder.
second.
Second by Mayor Rose. Question?
Question.
I've got a comment, just to make it, the name is Radium with an I.
Yes.
Radium.
Yeah.
So it's Radium North, so maybe, and you spoke it like you said it, so maybe you should make that clear, because you said Radium. But anyway, it's Radium North Inc. And the corporate company that did bid on the work, so anyway, and sorry.
That's okay. We'll amend that though. And Councillor Roberts.
Yeah. I asked for some, Councillor Hines, been asking for a month and a half ago probably, on a status report of where we started and where we're to.
Yeah.
We had this vision and over time it changed. And I never ever seen any report. I'm concerned, are we into a situation where it's better to build a new one versus what we're doing now? I would like to have seen that report before.
I think the scope changed very differently than the first time it had been proposed.
Yeah.
And because we were looking at a significant addition, but right now it's addressing the building as it is with its faults, to correct those faults before we add on to it. That's a very brief summary as the Cole's notes version.
So, yeah, so I can explain and where this was the subject of an active RFP, there were limits to what we could do as to scope change and even matters related to trying to make the building more green. We also had some nice to have items in the project. There was an extension to the building that was a part of the overall scope documents. So when we went out to bid the first time, because initially we went out to bid, everything came in a fashion that we couldn't award any of it because it wasn't broken out into the various scopes that were a requirement of the Government of Canada. And then also those that would be optional scopes, such as the additional building space. So what we did was then we canceled the RFP and we went back to the RFP with exactly the same scope, but broken out so that it could be awarded on the matters that the Government of Canada required in order to provide the funding, which is 80-20 funding. They would provide 80% of it, we would pay 20%. And so they went through that, and as we reviewed the RFP, we've been working on trying to negotiate with parties inside the RFP as you can, with within the limits that you're allowed to under the Public Procurement Act. And we've managed to come to an arrangement where what we foresee is that the additional building would not be put in as a part of this. The price was way outside of the budget that we have. So that additional new piece of the building that would be built now would become surplus to our needs because the overall scope that we intend to do is all green related for the Canadian Green Building Fund, right? And so what happens there is they're all matters that will save energy. The building envelope will be improved. The ventilation units on the roof will be changed out. And also, eventually, we hope to get to a part where our provincial approval will see the building have the oil-fired boilers removed. And we've got, and the council approved the $668,000 approval last council meeting towards that. So there's a couple of parts to this right now. Once we get the provincial piece done, that opens up a lot of building space inside the envelope of the building, which is a large space that would negate the need for the extra building to be added to the side of the building, because you're removing the furnace and the boilers, and all of a sudden you've got all of this extra room you can then use. So that's making the project more economical. Number two is because of that tying together this and in future with what we intend to do with removal of the oil-fired piece, the sequence of the way this has to be done is we've got to do this first, award this, and proceed. And then the provincial piece can then be reconfigured to try to lower our overall spend on the property altogether, because the federal funds can stack 110% with the provincial funds. So that is a step-by-step basis. So our recommendation is to award this now as is, and I'd be pleased to sit with any councillor who wants extra information on it, along with the engineer who is guiding us on this, and to explain the details, because some of it is not public, but it's not information that's hidden from the public. It's just the steps we have to follow. And what will happen is none of the expenditures on federal program will, none of it is a waste of money that'll have to be then replaced afterwards. These ventilation units will have the ability to run and not require oil-fired boilers in future. And that's where the provincial program comes in, when we award a tender for that. So that is funding to do that, but there is an issue right now that the federal program contemplates the continued use of oil. So if we were to take the oil-fired boilers out prior to the federal program, we would get the federal program fooled up. So basically, we've got to go through a series of steps to get us to where we need to be. So I hope that's an adequate explanation. we are, based on the RFP and our commitment to all of the bidders, the recommendation is that we proceed with this and award as per the RFP. And then we proceed to the next stage, which is to work closely with the provincial government on reconfiguring that agreement to support what we've awarded here and taking into account that which will and will not be completed. And Matt, is that an adequate explanation of where we are with the case?
Yeah.
For the Councillor Roberts' benefit also, we took the concerns that council expressed and we had internal issues that we were working on to try to make sure that this program and the specifications that were being put forward would not see any equipment need to be displaced later and just put it in, then take it out because we're going to get rid of oil. That will not happen. This will see it all melded together in an appropriate package that saves the town money and may actually even lessen the amount of money we have to borrow as our part of the overall project. So that's where we've come from, because this contemplates the town borrowing 20% of the total project cost. What we're trying to do now, as I mentioned in the request for approval of the provincial, is to try to bring this all together and lower the town's overall cost on the project and ensure that the building envelope is intact, that it is more green overall, and that more space for programming is made available for the people of the town of Stephenville and the Bay St. George area.
So in a nutshell, once this is done, we don't anticipate putting any huge investment into that building over the next 20, 30.
I can't say 20, 30 years. I can say that the building envelope as built should have a working life of at least 20 years for any renovations and a normal engineering improvement basis for building.
What I'm saying, you're saying we don't need addition on the building anymore. There were some issues on the washrooms, so
Washrooms would be included in this.
Now?
They would.
For now?
So it'd be washrooms.
So nothing left out now. Yes, taking that as scope. We haven't to deal with in the future.
No, other than, I guess we were hoping that we could tie the two together and get rid of oil right away.
No,
But
don't worry.
no,
Okay.
And so the washrooms would be completed in this.
Yeah.
The gym floor would be completed in this, and the building envelope improvements and the replacement of the two HVAC units that provide the primary air changing for the gym facility.
Only thing is the addition.
Yeah.
It's gonna be gone,
Yeah.
and we don't need it.
And that was my concern initially, was that we were putting an addition onto a building that was broken.
Yes.
And now those broken parts are going to be fixed, brought up to standard.
Yes.
And you go later, we have a building that's usable.
Yeah.
It's going to meet all the standards that we have.
Okay. Good discussion though. Any other questions or comments before we call for the vote? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded?
Just want to make sure that the motion is to Radium North Inc.
Right,
The amount of.
Yes.
Yes.
okay, so it's carried.
That's the last item for finance today.
Okay, thank you very much. And
So you've got on this one. Okay, afterwards, there's a conflict in later on.
yeah. So now we come to number 8, which is Planning and Development Committee. And as Mayor Rose and Councillor Aylward are coming to us via Teams, we're going to ask Councillor Hines to go through the Planning Committee stuff.
Okay, thank you. For Planning and Development Committee report, number 8.1, Land for Housing Development Initiative, Stage 1. Be it resolved that council approves the parcel of land located behind the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital as in the map attached, to be adopted as a part of the plan for future development, informed about the results of the housing and infrastructure visioning session attended by community stakeholders and guided by identified community needs. Be it further resolved that proposed plan will support mixed use and mixed density development and will involve collaboration with the various community groups and partners to ensure alignment with housing demand. And be it further resolved that council acknowledges the town's identified need for a range of housing types, including but not limited to supportive, affordable, and market housing, and is committed to advancing initiatives that respond to these housing priorities in a sustainable and inclusive manner. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second by Councillor White.
I have a question. Is this a rezoning or?
It's not a rezoning.
No.
It's just the area designated has been discussed in the past. And there may have been at some point an idea of holding off on developing it because someone had stated that there was an institutional potential use for it, but effectively any institutional can be incorporated into this plan we have to an extent.
Good. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Carried.
8.2, request for land, non. Be resolved that the council approve in principle the allocation parcel of land to the Newfoundland Aboriginal Women's Network to support the development of 20 to 25 units, affordable supportive housing initiative for Indigenous peoples, men and women, seniors, 2S LGBTQIA+ peoples. Be it further resolved that this initiative is recognized as being consistent with the scope and vision of the town, which prioritizes inclusive, needs-based development in collaboration with community partners. Be it further resolved that the town of Stephenville commits to entering into a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with NON, formalizing its commitment to work in partnership to fulfill its housing initiative in a manner that supports the community's identified needs and advances the town's broader goals for sustainable, supportive, and accessible housing. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second
Second.
by Mayor Rose. All in favor?
Question?
Oh, question?
There's a moment here, Paul.
I know, I was waiting for you and then you didn't say anything.
Well, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of granting taxpayers' property to any group, no matter who it is. But that's not the question I got is this organization, they got ability to access a significant amount of funds. And I don't understand why we would have to contribute the taxpayers' assets to an organization that they can access all kinds of funds for these type of initiatives.
So I can speak to that. Groups that apply for government-sponsored funding support for this type of initiative, like supportive housing, similarly for locations like they've already had approved for the transition house that they built, only work, and the federal government will only accept it if they have a community partner that is providing the land as a part of those initiatives, or someone a bequest of land from an estate or something of that nature, or if they were a wealthy organization that they go out and buy a piece of land to bring forward as a part of such proposal. So in this case, the government, because I've even had discussions with funding partners to determine, is there a way that the town could extract money from the federal government or others in these types of arrangements, and that is not possible for us to extract monies from those types of initiatives. So if we, as a part of an organization that is fostering all of the stakeholders to come together, there are certain expectations in Canada for this type of initiative, wherein the parties such as NON, which is making tremendous strides as an organization to get ahead of others that may very well, other community organizations that may very well want to apply, but they're striving to support people in the community. And in this case, it is not just the organization that they represent in the name, the Newfoundland Association or at Newfoundland Aboriginal Women's Network, but the overall community, which they've stepped up to support all of the community and use their wherewithal and their resources and their success to bring forward a proposal wherein the town would have to contribute to it. In the case of the other non-building and future potential buildings on that site, they've already had significant success. Money was spent in the community and in the province associated with that build, and they're providing a service similar, to what that was designed for. In this case, it is the same type of situation, and we, from a management perspective, it's probably the only way that the town can participate with them is by providing the property that they can build on. In this case, in that particular area, we're only talking about, depending on the size of the building and whether it's a multi-story or multiple single-story units, we're only talking about 14,000 square feet out of I think it's 5,000 square meters, Matt, is the general area that we're talking about in that whole.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we were up there this morning looking at the site, and it is a small part of the overall footprint that we're going to offer for community development.
I'm well aware of the organization, and you probably can guess who was doing audit for 1,500 years. You said about their ability to buy the land and everything else. Do you ever look at their fund statement and see if they get the ability to buy the land?
No, I have not, but again, they would, in my understanding, they would basically disqualify themselves from accessing the funds from the various programs that we're dealing with if they had to. The town wouldn't be a partner in it if they had to buy land from us. Now, that's.
If I could just add, I work very, Madam Chair. Yeah.
Yep.
I worked very closely with NON on their previous project with the town of Stephenville, which was the transition house built next to the Sir Thomas Roddick Hospital. It's a $4 million bill, and all the meetings as the council rep that I had with NON and the federal representatives out of Ottawa is that the only way that they would qualify for funding, which was to bill for engineering, contractors, operational funding, is if they had a willing community partner with land. And that was the fundamental component to get a $4 million bill of the transition house. And that actually supported, there's workers that work there now, engineers have made money on it, contractors. So NON has the prowess and the abilities and the competencies and the structure to put these applications together. And they have done amazing work in our community. And this kind of just aligns and follows suit of a previous project we've done with them. But I can validate that in my meetings with the federal government, it was requirement that they had to get land either from a philanthropist or a community group or a town or something in order to make their bill happen.
Okay, and
Candace,
had a comment?
Yes, thank you. I was just wanting to say that with respect to the request for land or an allocation to be able to put supportive housing in place, that is one of the many initiatives that has been identified by the town of Stephenville's residents and the participants through our housing visioning sessions. Supportive housing, integrated housing, affordable housing units are a priority for the town. And so we're hopeful that organizations such as NON comes forward and asks for the town's partnership so that we can fulfill the need of the town. We can't do that on our own. We can't build the properties. And so this is ideal for us that we have these nonprofit organizations stepping forward and asking for our support in doing the things that we know is needed here in town.
We also got private enterprise doing sustainable housing. So they're out there and they got to buy the land.
No, the sustainable, but supportive housing is something that would come with a supportive agency to facilitate support for the individuals who may require to be housed in these properties. So it's a little level up, and that's similar to, I think, what the Legion does in some cases, where the Legion could sponsor a project and they, as an organization, provide said support for the individuals who would occupy those spaces in those homes. So that part is the part that we saw as being very important to the overall aspect, and ownership in this case is nonprofit, so it's.
I think,
I'm reading that this is for this housing, support of sustainable accessible housing is for everybody in Stephenville.
Yes, yes.
Does it include people outside?
Well, you've got
Big
mobility,
St. George. Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
mobility of people who could come to your town, and
Yes.
could be people from
Yeah.
other towns and areas too.
That's asking.
but I think too is important to recognize if we look at the broader community development piece, there's the economic piece, which brings money in, but there's also the social development piece, which often costs money. And so as a town, I think if we look at the cost of a piece of land and then we look at that over the cost of working with 20 to 25 families who are now unhoused, you know, I think we can see that there's a benefit there. It's going to be a small cost to us, but a big benefit to the town overall, right? Because you know, as was talked about, I'm sure in the meeting, the community meeting, there's such a shortage that this is kind of really necessary at this point in time, right?
Last question, is that our total commitment? Just on in?
It was,
I think.
no, at this point it would be, it's not like we've committed beyond this, but in the case of, say, the transition house, we do additional amenities on behalf of the town's
Like-
responsibility to that,
like-
just like snow clearing and stuff like that. We do assist them with that type of thing at the non-property, which was a part of the agreement.
And we don't do that for any other nonprofits?
Oh, no, we have done it in the past for other
Mhm.
nonprofits too.
Long term?
Not always, but
Not always, but we have done it.
there are some others that have. I'm advised.
I'm just, your question, I should know the answer. So once this happens, this is a taxable piece of land.
Yeah, well, it's a taxable piece of land, but then, of course, they have the ability then to come back as a nonprofit and seek offsets as per any annual.
It's for any non.
So we'll provide a service and we don't receive any tax dollars.
Yeah, we
Well,
will get tax dollars, water and sewer.
Water and sewer, yes.
Water
Yeah.
and sewer.
You're also getting water and sewer.
Yeah, yeah, we're
But
putting
if
that,
you're, let's say the transition house, for example, if you provide an opportunity for somebody to move into a transition house and provide them with the support they need, ultimately the goal is that they would move into then housing in the community and become taxpayers, right? And this is why I'm saying that social development, this has a cost attached as opposed to a profit.
Yeah, but we're providing a service and not getting any tax dollars from any of these entities. Okay.
Okay, any other question before we call for votes?
I'm just gonna make a comment. Friends of ours are moving to Pasadena to a seniors residence. They're number 175 on the list.
Yeah.
Good idea, the housing issues.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Okay,
Okay, all in favor?
I,
Aye, contraminded? Carried.
8.3, discretionary approval, 112 West Street. Be it resolved to approve the construction of 7 senior apartment units within residential medium density, which condition of erecting a buffer zone between the property of 114 West Street, subject to compliance with all town regulations and approval of service, and all I so move.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second.
Second.
Second by Councillor White. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
8.4, outline planning permission. 149 to 151 Main. Be it resolved to approve outline planning permission for a business permit at 149, 151 Main Street, subject to completion of a traffic study and in compliance with all town regulations and approval of Service NL. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second.
Second.
Second by Councillor Aylward.
Question?
Question?
Interesting, subject to completion of a traffic study. So what prompt?
Yes, the location of where it is could have some issues with traffic. So before final approval goes, we have to approve the plan for traffic.
I'm not familiar with the location.
It's the corner of Queen Street and
Main Street.
By the orange store.
there's that whole plot, including the previous building, the newly occupied building, I have to call it. And there's also, I think, a change to the configuration of the whole plot,
Yes.
which would impact potential for traffic, because currently you have traffic entering and exiting off of Main Street. You have traffic entering and exiting onto Queen Street.
Yeah.
Anytime you do a development like that, which has a potential for, let's say, a restaurant drive-through service, which was a part of their original application, we have to consider how that traffic would enter and exit said property.
Mhm.
And discussion internally by our management, and Matt could explain this, came to a certain conclusion in discussion with the proponent.
So I was talking to the engineers for the development. Obviously, they're not from Steveville. They identified it as a busy intersection. So having the conversation, they thought it was a reasonable ask for the town, given it light of the situation, that a traffic study would be warranted for that area, just to determine, should things be exiting on Queen Street, should things be exiting on Main and Carolina, that area, just to make sure that we're not creating an issue long term there.
Good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, good.
Now, is the next item,
Now, the next item, Mayor will have to go dark and
Yeah,
basically depart
I'll
the,
just my camera.
okay,
Okay.
all right, yeah, he's allowed to listen.
Okay. Okay, 8.5, Hillier Avenue Comprehensive Development Plan. Be it resolved that the town of Stephenville approve the proposed comprehensive town
Town
council approve the proposed comprehensive development plan as submitted to support the 15 on-service lots in the vicinity of Hillier Avenue. I so move.
Moved by
Second.
Councillor Hines, second by
Second.
Councillor Aylward. Question? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contraminded?
Oh.
Oh.
Very little explanation of the comprehensive development plan.
I just want to clarify on the 15 lots.
Yeah.
There's not 15 applications looking to develop, there's not 15 people. In order to conduct a water study to see the impacts on the kip bins and see protected well in the area, we had to put a number in for that study. So that's the reason why for the 15, there's not 15 new developments. It's
Right.
just to make sure that that's very clear.
Okay, now
Yep.
that's.
Sorry, what was your question, Maurice?
No, that was
Okay.
part of it. Yeah, that was it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
clarify.
no, that was it. No. No, okay, thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried.
8.6, municipal plan number 10, 2025. Be it resolved to proceed with the proposed municipal plan amendment 10, 2025 to result in the following proposed changes to the vicinity of Hillier Avenue. Number 1, the future land use designation of Hillier Avenue development area be redesignated from residential to rural. A small area will be redesignated to environmental protection to create a buffer around 2 ponds in the area. Point number 2, unserviced single dwellings will be permitted in the redesignated area, initially to a maximum of 15 dwellings will be permitted. Any development beyond that number will depend on the results of a high-level groundwater impact study in the area. Point 3, residential water supply will be restricted to dug or drilled overburden wells that do not intersect with the underlying bedrock. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second.
Second.
Second by Councillor White. Question.
Excuse me, I was going back to me a question.
Yep.
No, it's not a question. Point is, in under number 2, says any development beyond the number will depend on the results of high-level groundwater impact study of the area. It seems to me we're saying that
Potential future.
we're guaranteeing if they want 15 more up there, if they do the study, they can have it automatically.
No,
No.
no. Well,
That's the impression I get.
maybe Matt can explain it.
No, that's not.
Better for Matt to explain it, because
It's a wording I gotta.
Yeah, so like I said on the previous point, for the study, we needed to put in number, there needed to be a number. So we went above talking to people who have land up the area. We obviously went more than people we consulted with, just to make sure that we do the proper study. Basically, the reason why that wording is going to be there and it's going to be in our rezoning is that if something ever happened that there's a manager change or people coming after us, that is built into our development regulations that anything past 15, could there ever potentially be future development, that we have some control on our protected wellhead area. There would be a requirement that any future development would require, after 15 lots, would require another water study, say for 20 or whatever that time would be. It's just making sure that we put the verbiage right into our development regulations, so that it's one of our.
Yeah. So the actual, the amendment that we read or whatever, that's makes it pretty clear that it's not a done deal, but
Yeah.
it has to, if it were to go beyond, there has to be a larger impact study.
But what I'm referring to, yes, and if they do large impact study and says, yes, they can do more, is assumption here is that we're going to allow it.
No, that would have to go back.
That'd be only one aspect. Okay.
That would be,
Yeah.
because that would be.
Interpretation.
At that point.
Hmm.
But it would have to go back to council for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. That's all I want to.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
This trail says that any development beyond the number would depend on results of another impact study in that area. That's, I think, it's the important.
That's important.
Okay.
It's not very, you had to put a number to it. So
Yes.
that would be my recommendation. Anything outside of that, you would get another impact study.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Just to comment, I guess the results that came back from groundwater research was probably the most definitive that I've seen. So it was very comprehensive.
Yeah.
And it came forward, not leaving it in the air.
That's right.
Some really, really good results.
And
Yeah.
you understood it.
Was that?
And then you understood it.
And well, to be revised by professionals, the impact is negligible.
No.
Yeah,
Basically, this is the line,
Yeah.
yeah,
and we also
Yeah,
government plan to approve it in writing, so.
yeah, and
Okay.
I'm pleased to see that this is going forward because it's been ongoing for about 30 years.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Carry. Okay, is there anything else under planning? No.
Mayor can rejoin.
New and the mayor can rejoin? How do we
I'm
tell
back.
him? Oh, you're back? He's back. Okay, we'll move on then to bylaws and regulations and policies. We do have one policy to adopt or to look at, which we went through in our meeting. And that's a gender equality policy. Be it resolved to approve the gender equality policy for the town of Stephenville as presented.
You need a mover. You
Do
can't
we have a
proceed.
mover? Yeah, no, I was just reading it out.
Good job.
But yeah, so we have a mover for that.
Yeah.
Okay, moved by Councillor Hines and seconded by Councillor White. Question?
Also look at me.
Just well,
I'll just, yeah.
some Philly don't go to the meeting and then he gotta ask all the questions. No, I know, you're only joking.
Question is, did we have a lawyer look at this policy? For opinion?
No, didn't.
No.
No, I did go online and look at some of the other federal ones. And I contacted a firm in Ottawa, but I shouldn't have because now they won't leave me alone. They keep coming back to me. It covers sort of the standard things, okay? But I do think maybe might be an idea, maybe to have someone look at it. Because
Is there
what hap-
that you think?
Well,
Sir?
yeah,
There's two items there,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
The scope, this policy applies to all municipal employees, elected officials, contractors, volunteers, and any individual organizations engaged in activities on behalf of the town of Stephenville. So if, the way I read this, we got a contract with continuous sanitation to our garbage collection. And if they haven't got a policy similar to this, or don't meet our satisfaction, we're not gonna do any work with them?
Well, it's a filter that you try to ensure that your subcontractor meet or exceed your policy requirements.
And
Yeah, but I
this could be really costly for the town of Stephenville.
Mhm.
If someone like, I'm only using them as an example, I don't know if they got a policy or nothing else, I don't know if they're a contractor with town of Stephenville. And so, okay, we're not gonna do it because you haven't got a policy, so now we gotta go outside to get our garbage collection, our bills just went up double or triple.
but what are we asking though? I thought that
Yes,
was
this-
just a general.
policy applies to all municipal employees, elected officials, contractors. So we're applying our policy to a contractor,
Parties.
to somebody, yeah.
Like the town in their ability, or like our policy to be inclusive, to be equitable, all those things extends into, like, we treat all of the people that we do business with through the same lens
Yeah.
as what it means. It
So it's
doesn't mean
not that
holding
they have
somebody
to.
else to a standard.
It's that we
In-
apply this policy to everybody that we deal with.
And that's why I said we should have a lawyer look at this here, because now we're dealing with interpretations. I got one interpretation,
Okay,
you got interpretation.
And what happens if the contractor is in violation, say, of what we believe to be our policy?
And
And we cancel the contract and then could be sued,
that's right.
right? So
And-
that's the
yeah,
elements.
okay.
And the second one is, basically, I'm trying to scroll down to find it. Responsibilities. Chief and Deputy Administrative Officer ensure implementation of the policy across all departments, promote inclusive hiring and management practices, monitor gender balance and municipal staffing, boards, committees, and take action to ensure equal participation and representation. That can come back and bite us in the butt, in my opinion. They're giving an awful lot of power to two individuals. For example, if we decide to hire another fireman, and we got qualified people, but because we got, almost all mail order now, is it?
Yeah.
The manager or deputy administrative officer can say, no, we're not hiring that person because we got enough men over there.
Means though, it just means that we take steps to make sure that all of our job ads have a statement that says that we're an equal opportunity employer, and so those are the measures. Like, you wouldn't take somebody that's not qualified or qualified.
Interpretation.
But then you can look at every single policy we have here and look at whether or not who interprets it.
This one here, I think, could open us up for liability. Why don't we just have a lawyer look at this dog?
Yeah, I can see, because as you know, these are sometimes become contentious issues. And, that's, the intention is to be,
Fair enough.
No.
fair and equitable.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I think you're right. It wouldn't
Understood.
hurt in this case to
And-
do that.
There may be someone out here who will come in for a job interview and use this
Right, yeah, that's right.
for the wrong reasons.
Okay, so having said that.
Madam Chair, just one thing, if I could, obviously, there's different skill sets and different branches of the lawyer structure. It would definitely have to be a labor lawyer that would have to look at that, with
Okay.
skill sets as a labor
Well,
lawyer.
And another suggestion too is, did we talk to the union about this?
An equivalent of or reference to it is written right into the collective agreements.
Yeah.
As far as gender balance and these sort of things.
Yeah.
To an extent, very limited.
Wouldn't hurt.
Oh, yeah, it's obviously something.
Okay.
So did we vote on this yet?
Yeah, seconder and seconder.
Is the intent to
The intent then would
defeat this or to defer it?
Defer.
defer it.
I do defer.
Okay, so we're gonna do the rescind of the,
I will, okay, since I brought it forward,
yep,
okay, I would rescind the gender equality policy. That was motion that was
Okay.
put forward.
and the seconder was Counselor,
Am I right?
right?
Okay.
So do you rescind your second or?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Is that good?
Very definitive there.
Okay,
So now the next one,
next one,
I guess, be it resolved that the gender equality policy be reviewed by legal counsel.
so
I so move.
moved by Counselor Hines, seconded by Counselor White. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did
Carry.
we have to say, all in favor, did we have to say that for the first one, the rescind of it?
Oh, we
Yeah.
didn't.
We didn't.
It never went beyond,
Oh, sorry, let's go back.
Give her a
Yeah.
motion, we want to send a motion.
it never went,
Sometimes you can, get into that.
Well, all in favor of the rescinding motion?
yes.
Aye.
Yeah. Aye.
Carried. And the other one,
Go
we
down
don't
the
need
rabbit
to do it again, do we?
No, no,
All right,
another one's good.
Yeah.
okay, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? No unfinished business. New business.
Only one thing I just want to say,
Go
Madam Chair, is still plenty of time left for residents and visitors and people in the region to take in the great performances to Stephenville Theater Festival. They have four main performances, plus they have a lot of local content incorporated into their suite of offerings this year. So there's something for everyone. So for the residents, please try to get out and support the arts community and our Stephenville Theater Festival.
Hey, I'll second that. No, I just want to mention that I'm out of town to my granddaughter's wedding for Saturday in St. John's. So if there's anything that comes up between now and the 6th of August, and especially Candace, if there happens to be a virtual meeting or whatever with the CEO of Western Health, anything at all like that I need to attend, just let me know, because I do have, my laptop here and I can go in on the meetings at any time.
Sure.
So I would appreciate that very much if you could do that.
Excellent.
For sure.
So I second
And
that.
just one shout out too to our Public Works and Engineering Department. They took on two major projects this year, Main Street, total reconstruction, water, sewer, full upgrades, and Rose Avenue, total water, sewer, curb, and a lot of great reports from the residents and the businesses on how professional the contractor was under communication. And it was a big job. As you well know, Main Street, the infrastructure was 70 years old, so it had to be done. Both projects came in probably between $7 and $8 million. So it was a big capital works project for the town of Stephenville this year, but we got her done thanks to our engineering and our public works department. So a shout out to them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I just might note that the Public Works Group has been working, we had one of our wells go down, one of our larger wells, and So they've been replacing the pump in that well. And we were a bit concerned about our water levels, but we've gotten through most of that, and they've managed the worst of it now. And I was looking at the old pump that they pulled up out of the ground, so they've gone to a higher level pump. Now maybe you could tell us a little bit about that, Matt, where what the status is.
Yeah, I think it'll be finished up today, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
so that's good, and they've done phenomenal work. Our own forces have caused us to look at the approvals for water and well improvements a little differently, because our own forces are doing a lot of the work with the help of engineering services from Dr. John Gale's company, FracFlow. And that's helped us save significant amounts of money. And as well, the concerns we have now, of course, is as we go through maintenance efforts on a lot of our infrastructure, there will be a report for council coming up at the next meeting on what we have determined insofar as our infrastructure. Because as they were doing, for example, the system, getting the hydrants bled out and doing that work on, we've uncovered some maintenance issues which we've got to get down to. So some of those have expenditures that we'll have to make, et cetera. So unexpected, but generally unexpected, So that's good. They're doing good work.
Good, and that's certainly not to suggest that we all can't still be cognizant of the fact that this time of year, water is not unlimited. And so even though, we may want to treat it as it's unlimited, we should all work to conserve where possible.
There have been some notices about conservation
Yes, yeah,
put out on the website.
yeah.
All
Absolutely.
you gotta do is get a couple of barrels, hook it up to your house, your eve trot, fill up those barrels, take it out, mow your lawn. If you got any vegetables growing, use that rainwater because it's so much better. I'm not saying no much better than the town.
I'm right there with you, Lara. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
With barrels, yeah.
We got any barrels for sale?
Yeah. Only got them filled the last few days.
You can order them from Costco, they drop it right to your house.
Perfect.
Rent a barrel.
Okay, any other questions or comments under new business? Okay, no notice of motions. And someone else is gonna have to do the adjournment.
Just to note, we missed the presence of former mayor, Councillor Tom O'Brien, and he's, as we all know, he's ill. We miss him, and we missed his counsel here, and there's a bit of humor in the notice of adjournment.
Yes, absolutely.
Who wants to fill his shoes?
I don't know if I can fill the shoes. I can fill one shoe, maybe not two.
Okay, motion to adjourn, so.
I'll second it with the other shoe.
Roberts and
I'll do the.
second shoe, Councillor Hines.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay, thank you all.